welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us, everyone. A third force has now become a new political lingo, and now there are several movements in town. Perhaps most popular of them is one suggested by the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, the Coalition for Nigeria movement. But a series of criticism coming from the former president and his critical analysis of the government's performances, it would be good to know what the movement has to offer Nigerians. Let's get back to the conversation now, shall we? Mr. Akin Oshuntokun is the Director of Media and Communications for the Coalition for Nigeria Movement, and Mr. Ezenwa Nwagu is the Executive Director of Partners for Electoral Reform. So let me allow you land on the thoughts and the trajectory you were on, Mr. Oshuntokun, before we went on that break, and is the inquisitivity of a lot of people about the central message and the drivers of the Coalition for Nigeria movement, because some of them have criticized them to say that, look, it does look like this kind of wave comes every 4 years. When people are dissatisfied with what is happening, the ongoing, they bring about some kind of movement, and after 4 years again, we see this kind of movement yet again and again and again.
Well, I didn't hear the latter part of your...
Okay, I mean, what I was trying to ask you is some of the critics saying that, look, how are we sure that what we've heard from President Obasanjo made this kind of similar criticism in the past, and this kind of wave of movement, as we've seen it over and over again?
Well, you see, look, the coalition idea is not a perfect idea, but it's a response to what we have, to the mess that we have on our hands. The alternative is to choose to do nothing, right? How that serves the interests of Nigeria, I don't know. The dominant theme of the Coalition of Nigeria, I think, is the idea of inclusivity and trying to, get many Nigerians, especially the younger generations, who for one reason or the other have been outside the orbit of active politics or governance, to get them interested, to get them involved, to get them more passionate about moving the country forward. The idea of the coalition is directed at, things like equality, and, nobody owns it. It is not a movement that's nobody owns the movement. The people who are invited to come in as, members, and promoters on the basis of, shared idea of how to take the country forward. Look, a large section, there has been a generational vacuum crisis in Nigeria for quite a while, attributed in the main to the long and protracted period of military dictatorship. In a normal political system that is not routinely interrupted by military coups, there is a constant process of leadership recruitment and succession within, the democratic structure, especially the political party system. But that function did not take place in Nigeria between 1966 and essentially up to the First World. We had an interlude of civilian government from 1979 to 83, and then again up to 1999. So for the greater part of the independent existence of Nigeria, the performance of that role, has been in the abeyance. So this is part of the reflection of where we find ourselves today. But it is so, if you want to now respond, we have a crisis of leadership or governance facing us. That is a pool, a pool of potential competence, and patriotism that you can tap into, to respond to the problems that we have ourselves. Look, the situation of Nigeria is unique. It seems there is this cyclical uniqueness about each situation of Nigeria. It degenerates, leadership and governance degenerates into crisis almost every 4 years, such that you have to think something, you have to imagine and conceive of a new way to address it. Governance in Nigeria presents us with unique problems and that defies,